She's married to a man who was the worst abuser of women in the history of politics, who got impeached for lying. And Hillary was an enabler, and she treated these women horribly. Just remember this. And some of those women were destroyed not by him, but by the way that Hillary Clinton treated them after everything went down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to Kristen Tate and more of your phone calls coming up. And maybe you could weigh in on this when we get back to the phones at 877 Newsmax here on the Steve Malzberg Show. That was Donald Trump recently. The View took up this topic yesterday, Whoopi Goldberg and company, and they played this, which is kind of a contradictory bite from Donald Trump from '08.
Look at the trouble Bill Clinton got into with something that was totally unimportant, and they tried to impeach him, which was nonsense.
Totally unimportant? Totally unimportant.
All right, so they're oh, well, how could it be unimportant then? And now it's such a big deal. And then they go after Joy Behar talks about how all presidents, cheat. Watch.
You used to have that bit about every president had affairs, remember?
Practically in the 20th century, except for maybe
Richard Nixon.
Nixon, no one would do it with him.
But
But like Eisenhower had an affair, and Kennedy, I say he has a longer list than Schindler. Every one of them had something going on.
Okay, but folks, you know and I know, and I don't know if they know or don't care or they're disingenuous. It's not about having affairs. That's not what Donald Trump is talking about. It's about unwanted sexual advances and the women who claim them, and then Hillary goes on to help trash them. That's completely different, as Paula Ferris points out.
But there's a difference between having an affair and having people accuse you of sexual assault. And I think Hillary
let's be clear. One person has accused her.
Right.
If we're going to do this, let's do it correctly.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
No, see, that's not right. It's not one person. I'll give you two. Juanita Broderick and Kathleen Willey. That's two that I can name right there, and there are more. So for Whoopi to say, oh, it's one person, let's be clear. No, it's not. It's really not. More.
I just think Hillary is walking right into this trap. She's going on campuses and she's going to workplaces and saying, we have to take these victims of sexual assault seriously. And then you look at how it was handled back in the 90s when you had, women that came forward and said, I had relations with him. There may have been
sexual assault are two different things.
Well, let me finish. Yeah. Women that said that they were sexually assaulted and they were destroyed.
Okay, so you're getting the drift here. Where are they going to wind up on this argument? What do you think is going to happen here? More.
And Monica Lewinsky was called, quote, a narcissistic Looney Tune. So the first instinct is to blame. Just a second. The first instinct is to blame the woman.
No, the first instinct is to blame the woman. If you're the wronged woman, I'm sorry, she was married to him. Okay.
But why is she blaming the woman?
Because
that happens to every female.
But she's going to come after you. Right. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Okay, again, this is not about affairs. This is not about affairs, okay? It's about unwanted sexual contact being claimed by women like Juanita Broderick and Kathleen Willey and others, and even Monica Lewinsky, who had consensual, and then Hillary goes after the women, and to some of them ruined their lives. But that doesn't stop the ladies of The View.
I would say, Donald, I'd ask Ivana, or maybe you want to read her book and see how she felt about the girl that he was fooling around with.
Well, he had an affair with Marla while he was married to Ivana.
So I would say talk to your wife and ask her how this works.
Again, not the point, but you know that by now. Now, how's Hillary handling all this? Watch.
I have nothing to say about him and how he's running his campaign. I'm running my campaign. I'm not running against him. He's doing a fine job of doing that himself.
All right, we're rejoined by Kristen Tate, libertarian author, political columnist, founder of thelibertarianchick.com, and author of Government Gone Wild. We're taking your phone calls at 877-NEWSMAX, 877-639-7629. Let's go to Ellen from Topeka, Kansas. Hello, Ellen.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
And this kind of plays right into what my thinking is that I'm tired of the robotic Republican rhetoric. We all know that the media is bought and paid for politically. And they'll say whatever they have to say to get either Hillary or Cruz elected.
Wow.
I can't agree more with Miss Tate's book that, there's too much money in Washington, D.C., there's too much, lying and cheating and stealing. I think that Mr. Trump is on the right path. I think that he's going to bring this country back to what we should be.
Go ahead, Kristen.
Ellen, you make some really great points. I think, though, that Trump has to be very careful with when he attacks Hillary and when he attacks Bill Clinton for this sexual assault stuff. Steve, you're totally right. There's a huge difference between sexual assault and having an affair. However, when Trump tries to say anything about this, you know very well that the media is going to spin it like crazy and say, oh, Trump is anti-woman, all of this stuff. So that's why I think it's critical that Trump gets a VP who's a woman, because a woman could be an attack dog going after Hillary for covering up these sexual assault claims. And unfortunately, if Trump tries to go after the Clintons for this stuff, which is very legitimate stuff to go after them for, the media will just clobber him.
As they're doing.
Exactly.
They're trying
and people buy into this stuff. I mean, people who don't know what's going on, who just tune in casually to the mainstream media, see this on the news and they go, oh, wow, Trump is a real bigot. He's really anti-woman. So he needs to get a woman VP, I think.
Ellen, you agree?
No, I don't, actually. I'm sorry, Kristen. I don't believe that a female VP is the answer. I think what the answer is what Newsmax is doing, is telling the complete and honest truth. You see, there's so many lies. I grew up outside the Beltway, inside the Beltway, actually, in a very poor community. And I'm a Democrat forever. And I stopped watching the news 4 years ago when the re-election went Obama's way. And I want to thank everyone at Newsmax for bringing the truth and honesty back into politics. Because
well, Ellen, we thank you. We thank you for participating in this very unique forum that we offer here each night on Newsmax TV. Phone calls, and thanks for being a part of it. Now let's go to Jeremy from Maynardville, Tennessee. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Steve.
Hello. Say hello to Chris.
I want to say Donald Trump is the man with the plan. He's going to do it right. He's going to fix everything. Everything Obama did, he's going to fix it. All of it.
I'm curious, Jeremy, have you always been a Republican and politically active or not?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, then you're holding true to form. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Let's try to fit Donna in from Frederick, Maryland. Hello, Donna.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
Good. Say hello to Kristen.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Kristen. I didn't forget about you, Kristen.
Thank you.
I was fascinated. I'm sorry?
You were fascinated by what?
What you were saying, and I want to add to this. It's really the war. It's really not a war on women. It's a war on men. And I read a story recently where 1 in 6 men ages 18 to 34 are either jobless or incarcerated. So that's like 17%. So I want to say, you know what? It's time to take a good look at what's really going on. So, all right, Trump should hit Hillary on their past and how bad she was to the women. But we also ought to hit her with how bad she is to the men, because that's really the issue today.
All right. Well, Donna, we will try to get that word to Donald Trump. You're right. I mean, go read The War Against Boys by Christina Hobbs Summers, even though Christina disappointed me by signing that letter after the Lewandowski affair that Trump should have fired Lewandowski. Anyway, folks, we're coming back with another call or two, and Kristen Tate is not leaving because I won't let her go. So you don't go away either. 877-NEWSMAX, 877-639-7629. Again, Donald Trump wins West Virginia, and Sanders is leading Hillary. Folks, we'd like to take a moment to thank you for watching Newsmax TV. And as you know, Newsmax TV is America's fastest growing news channel, available in over 43 million homes. Tonight, we're excited to announce that Newsmax TV is now available on Apple TV. But if you don't have Apple TV, don't worry. You can watch Newsmax TV almost anywhere. For our complete guide on where you can watch Newsmax TV, simply go to newsmaxtv.com/find Newsmax TV. Tell your friends and help spread the word. Newsmax TV, real news, better talk.